I have to remind myself not to touch it, even if it starts to itch. I'd rather not set it off by accident. Anyway, enough of that. Let's learn what we can from the refugees. I will take more than a trifle such as this to deter us. Compared to what Garlemald's people have suffered in recent days, these collars are a minor inconvenience. As per Lord Quintus's instructions, I am to supervise you during your time here in Tertium. Before you ask, no, I don't have a key or any other means to remove your collars. Nor would I tell you if you did. And if you try anything, you'll soon wish you hadn't. So do you truly intend to speak with others, or was that merely a ruse? We're in no hurry to disobey Lord Quintus, if that's what you mean, or perhaps you doubt the wisdom of his decision. Do as you will, but remember, I'll be watching. If I catch wind of you doing anything untoward, trying to trick our people into turning their coats and the like, those shock collars will be the least of your worries. Understood? Though we've somewhat compromised, to put it lightly, let's not waste this opportunity. I suggest splitting up and learning what we can of their situation. And above all else, don't use magics of any sort. What if I were to teleport? You, on the other hand, may go wheresoever you wish, even outside the camp. I know full well I couldn't stop you if I tried. But do not forget, if you do anything to endanger us or our interests, Alphino and Elise will pay the price. Ooh. I'll use magic as much as I want. You came with Julius, didn't you? Well, whatever business brought you here, you'd best keep your hands off that aetherite. It's deactivated, but I'd rather you didn't mess about with it. There were others throughout the city, built by Garleans, for Garleans. Could teleport all over in the blink of an eye, provided there was a terminal nearby. These days, however, we use the aetherite to keep this place lit, so that comes at the cost of its normal function. Octavia? I like y'all's outfits. It's you, Davel Dothoro. I served under Lord Gaius in the 14th Legion. I was there on the night the Praetorium fell. You and your adventurers, you killed them, my comrades, my friends. Swept them aside in their dozens, as though they were nothing to you. And maybe I am too. Just another faceless enemy to be cut down. But it won't be long until our countrymen return. Until you get what you deserve. Mark my words. Understood. Wait, what's this? Oh, it almost looked like a market board. So cold. The young soldier is on the verge of losing consciousness. Am I not going to do anything to help him? Oh, Magitek radio. The radio is the same model as the one used at Victor's spoils. Perhaps it is what saved the soldiers here from being tempered. You know, I know who you are, the so-called champion of Eorzea. Come to gloat, have you? I'll wipe that smirk off your face. By the blood of our fallen compatriots, I swear I'll... Damn, tore the suitors. Of all the times, the worst of the lot within striking distance, and I can't even muster the strength. If it weren't for the third bleeding us, would be the end of you. Regalia's treachery nearly cost Lord Quintus his life, but we made our escape, took shelter in a mansion, tended to the wounded as we prepared to strike back, and then... Night fell, and we gathered around the radio. Then the roar, the terrible roar. The capital was in chaos, but we were spared. If you can call this a mercy. Mind intact, but body broken. A soldier in name alone. I'd cut you down where you stand if I could. Murderer. Guess that is what I'd be seen as to them. Alice, I'm going to talk to you first. So cold, and probably hasn't had a proper meal in days. If only we brought some food with us. Perhaps I could use a little magic too. No, I mustn't. Gods, this is so frustrating. Did you learn anything of note? Then your findings are consistent with my own. Their plight is desperate indeed. The sick and injured are at greatest risk. Without warmth and proper nutrition, I fear they will soon perish. I realize there's precious little we can do for them at present, but I cannot bear to see them suffer. Please, will you help me tend to them? Who's there? My eyes, I can't see all that well. Ah, thank you. The numbness has subsided a little. But I know I won't last much longer. You should look to the others who can still fight. Give them my rations. If me going hungry means someone else lives to see another day, so be it. At least I can still serve in that way. I love seeing more of Garlemald, even if it's the falling apart Garlemald. So those who you met fare no better? I was afraid you would say that. I know we were warned against meddling in their affairs, but we can't leave them like this. Perhaps we might gain permission to have the contingent deliver supplies? Quintus may have made his feelings on the matter quite clear, but even he must recognize they are not in a position to refuse help. Maybe Julius could persuade him, though we need to persuade Julius first. Okay, let's see if we can go persuade him. Well, seen enough? Julius, the people here have barely enough food and fuel to survive. Have you and the other soldiers been able to procure any more supplies? We've been scavenging provisions from the nearby houses, as most families kept some stored away in the event they were snowed in. Still going out and getting it is dangerous work, and we've a lot of mouths to feed. Fuel is the greater concern, though. We had some ceruleum set aside until it was stolen. We haven't identified the culprit. Could have been other refugees, or one of the afflicted for all we know. Either way, we're down to the last dregs. Without the heating they need, those in poor health are only going to get worse instead of better. If it's ceruleum we need, our contingent has secured a ready supply. We can have some sent over. We will not accept your charity. If we can hold on a little longer, the situation is sure to change. Aye, everything will change. Those mysterious countrymen of yours, I assume? Heard something of it, have you? Well, from what I've seen, there's little you could do to interfere, so there's no harm in telling you. One of our scouts spotted a hooded man issuing instructions to the afflicted, or in the bastard's words, loyal servants of the Tolothroi. And Daniel? Then he made his way inside the Imperial Palace, or what stands in its place. We identified the seat of the enemy's power. We realized Lord Quintus dispatched a messenger to the 10th Legion saying as such, and instructing them to join forces with the provincial legions to prepare for a combined assault on the Tolothroi. Once our allies arrive, your contingent will be sent running for the hills. Then we shall reclaim the capital by our own hand. And how do you intend to survive in the meantime? At this rate, many of your countrymen will perish long before reinforcements reach Garlemald. They need help now. Say the word and we will bring you ceruleum. Just accept it. I will speak with Lord Quintus. So, did he agree to it? No. No, he will not place Garlemald into debt of her enemies. I have, however, been ordered to search for ceruleum outside. As you are under my watch, you will come with me. Very well. After all, many hands make light work. You lot are more trouble than you're worth. Once we are outside, you will follow my instructions to the letter. We depart shortly. Ooh. Handpiece. 525 handpiece. That would be... upgrade. We will begin our search for ceruleum in Regio Urbanisima. The first location is Forum Soleus, a park to the northwest of the station. You are to remain close at all times and act only as ordered. Follow me. We've discovered like half the map. Unfair, their horse is bigger than mine. Ooh, an ether current. I'll talk to you in a second. Oh, the closer we get to the tower, the more clearer it looks. So this is the park. I'm surprised they found space for one amongst all these buildings. Actually, the recreational areas came first. The houses were later built around them. A healthy society requires communal spaces for children to play and adults to socialize. This park was named after the founding father of the empire, the great Solus Zos Galvus. Are we going to mention that he's an Asian? Did we come to extract ceruleum from the wrecked Magitech armor? Honestly, that would probably piss them off. We probably shouldn't do that. Did they come to extract ceruleum from the wrecked Magitech armor? No, we've already drained it dry. Same goes for the rest of the machina in the vicinity. But as our ceruleum has been stolen, we must scour the city for every last drop. And while I don't expect to find anything here, I've decided to try one more time, in case something has been overlooked. I see. Then with your permission, we will commence the search. Oh, do you see a sparkly? Oh, wait, there's a sparkly over here. Though rather small by Garlean standards, the structure is reminiscent of a merchant stall. Perhaps it was built for children to play at shopkeeper. There is nothing inside resembling Magitech or any other devices that would be fueled by ceruleum. You're back, but might not be chatting because I'm doing homework right now. Oh, okay. And also thank you for the hydrate. I see something that I can use to hydrate. 1 second. There you go, some water. Not a full bottle, but it's something. I'm gonna go see what Alphino has to say before I get those sparklies. I don't imagine there would be much need for Magitech in a park of all places, but then again, I wasn't raised in Garlemald. They may have uses for ceruleum that I've yet to consider. A cursory inspection of the wrecked Magitech armor confirms that the fuel canisters have long since been drained of ceruleum, as Julius said. Ali said. This, whatever it is, appears to be some sort of symbolic... have some sort of symbolic meaning relating to this park. Even though the place is named after Solus, it doesn't seem to be a statue of him. Well, at least not anymore. Maybe it was once a fountain, or somewhere the man himself used to sit. Not that it would matter, even if we knew, but I can't help wondering. Huh. The contraption is built in the style of Imperial war machina, armed with a battery of weapons and capable of transforming into different configurations, but on closer inspection it appears to be no more than a children's slide. I like that. Okay, there's some more sparklies. Must be missing. I must have overlooked something. Down here? Automated satellite. Why didn't we just kill that? I assume it's powered by ceruleum. Oh, up here. Several points of interest are marked on the map of Form Solus. The pond, children's play areas to your knowledge, however none would require the use of ceruleum. And where are we going to get the ceruleum? Oh, it's you. Any luck? Nope, no luck. There's no sign of any ceruleum? Hardly surprising, but disappointing nonetheless. I couldn't help noticing you gaze at the pond. Is something the matter? What? Yes, I mean, no, I'm... It's just, I used to bring my brother and sister here to play. The pond was heated to stop it from freezing over, so like all the other children, they just had to wade in and splash about. Would have stayed there if I didn't drag them out. We'd be sopping wet when all was said and done. Every time. Heated? Maybe the heater still has ceruleum in it? And every time when we'd get home, Mother would scold us, saying we'd catch our death walking around like that. The pond was heated. Was the ceruleum-powered heater in by chance? I suppose it must have been, come to think of it. I remember seeing engineers changing out the tank beneath a hatch. But that was a long time ago, when the water still flowed clear and wasn't this brackish muck. We can't see a thing, and I can't remember where the hatch might be. With the machinery most likely broken, the amount of filth in there is probably the only reason it hasn't frozen over. I'd wager it's still unbearably cold, though. Shouldn't matter, it's raining right now. Julius, what are your thoughts on magic? The average Garlean would jump out of the skin if they saw it, but the first has a few foreign signifier and medici, so it doesn't scare me. Then I take it you won't mind if I employ a little now? Alphino, as you have a knack for finding dry wood, why don't you bring me some? Once that's done, a blast of fire should do the trick. Leave it to me. You're not planning to go in there, are you? Of course I am. That tank isn't going to fetch itself. It's nothing so involved as extracting and processing cerulean from a frozen lake like how the Tappies do it. We're talking about a shallow pond in a park, and we have a way of warming ourselves up after. But that's insane. So fancy a dip? Step aside while I drink the pond dry. That way we'll find it in no time. That may be the stupidest thing I've heard in a while, and that's saying something considering who my brother is. I can't fault your enthusiasm though. Let's do it my way first, and if that doesn't help, perhaps then you can try your method with Alphino's help. I like that. You delve into the murky water, but come up empty-handed. To add injury to insult, the icy wind on your damp clothing chills you to the bone. Oh. Damage over time? You'd think it would be right here in the middle of the pond. You delve into the murky water, but come up empty-handed. Oh, okay. Empty-handed. This must be it. Beneath the water, your fingers catch on what you might think might be a handle. You open the hatch and retrieve a cerulean tank. Oh, I'm cold. However, your grand discovery comes at a great personal cost, as you become acutely aware of the freezing cold and a rancid odor emitting from every limb of your body. Julius will doubtless feel compelled to pinch his nose shut when you deliver to him your prize. I like that. Did you find anything? Sniff, snip. Sniff, sniff. I hope you did. Yep, here it is. That's it. And there's still some ceruleum left. And the fire's still not ready. Hold on, I'll give Alphino a hand. Call me an Uldan. Call me an Uldan because by fire I am reborn, and my clothes are mostly dry now too. I appreciate you recovering to cerulean, but I wish you'd taken the time to discuss the plan with me beforehand. Despite the way you've been treated, in Lord Quintus's eyes, you're still the invoice deserving of protection. If you were to die on my watch, you would be most displeased. Your concern is duly noted, but all's well that ends well. Julius, you mentioned coming here with your younger siblings. Did you grow up in Garlemald? I did, not far from here. My father was an accomplished researcher in his youth, and for his contributions to the Empire awarded an estate. We lived well, better than many. What was Garlemald like in those days? Everything. It was everything you could imagine and so much more. Even during coldest winters, we always found warmth and comfort at home. Coming in from the snow, taking off your coat and sitting down for a hot meal with family. Visiting friends and relatives, receiving that same welcome, knowing they had everything they needed. Walking down the street, seeing the lights in all the houses, hearing the faint sounds of laughter and song of happiness. And although the summers came and went all too quickly, in that brief respite the ice would melt and the forgotten grass make its triumphant return. Grey clouds gave way to blue skies. Some mornings we climbed to the top of the tallest building, the building we could find, to watch the sunrise. Never again. Those rooftops are rubble. Those friends dead, and those memories. But if I could reclaim even a fraction of what we once had. Soon our chance will come. We just need to hold on a little longer. Okay. Hand gear. Gimme. I kinda like the look of those. Let me dye them. Better. Alright, now that you've recovered from your escapades in the pond, there's another location I'd like to search just outside the park. Small house. You said you were born you live not far from here. Is this your house? As you can see, this place is littered with the remnants of various types of war machina. While my comrades and I have already recovered the tanks from the less damaged units, those that took a more severe beating are harder to scavenge. We decided to save those for another time, that time being now. Rather than prize them apart piece by piece, it would be quicker to remove the outer casing using compact explosives. With luck, we'll gain access to the tanks without rupturing them. Though the force generated by these devices is relatively weak, I would advise you stand clear to avoid being hit by any shrapnel. Before even bothering though, you should check the machina's ceruleum gauge to see if there's any left. It should still provide an accurate reading even when the unit itself is inactive. If the gauge is broken, I'll let you decide whether to use an explosive or not. Should you need more, come to me. Understood, let's get to work. According to the ceruleum gauge, this unit's fuel tank is empty. No, do not use. Ceruleum gauge on this unit appears to have been broken, giving you no way to determine how much fuel its tank may hold. Sure, use. After successfully removing the war machina's outer casing and retrieving the ceruleum tank, you find it to be completely empty. I see. I see how it is. I need more. Why don't we destroy some still active Magitech? According to the ceruleum gauge, this unit's fuel tank is empty. Nah. Fuel on this unit has been broken. Okay. Maybe this time it'll have stuff in it? It is still half full or half empty, depending on one's perspective. Either way, Julius will surely be pleased by your discovery.